Hello. Ooh. Does this sound better? Good. Okay. It's too dark. This is too dark. Hello.
Hey, Shay.
How are you?
Good. I'm drinking my dinner. I just taught spin class.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah, so got to get some nutrition in, right?
Yes, absolutely.
hmm
And you taught it, so.
hmm It's always fun. I have a good group.
What'd you say?
I said it's always fun. I have a good group.
Good.
Yeah.
I want to do spin. I can't really, I'm a runner, but my knee is, I'm going to end up with a knee replacement if I am not mindful and change up, what I do. I
Well,
can't run for miles anymore, unfortunately. So I'm assuming spinning could be maybe an alternative.
yes, it's a good alternative because it's not weight bearing
Okay.
and it keeps your knee in a linear position. So, like, I used to teach step aerobics, and you're here and you're there and you're here and you're there. And I was always very cognizant, but I tore my meniscus. And I think that step, because I was up and over and around, because I took over for this woman who was like the step aerobics guru. I mean, she was great. And I had to fill some pretty big shoes, and people were very kind as I got back into it. But I think that aggravated it. But um, I don't know if are you familiar with like pro hockey players?
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve Yzerman from the Red Wings.
Yeah. My mom
Yeah.
loves him.
Oh my gosh. Well, it helps that he's
Right.
kind of handsome, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
he damaged his knee and he would play an entire hockey game, and then after the game he would go ride the stationary bike for an hour.
Whoa. To
But
like put it back in alignment.
well, and it's also too just he was just trying to continue to condition it so he could
Interesting.
prolong his career. But I think if you try to do that, and of course, obviously talk to your doctor, and if you have a physical therapist, because I'm not diagnostic. My degree is exercise phys, but I'm not diagnostic. But I've seen people have success with that. Or even when I've had people in my class, you have knee braces on. The one thing I would say is like, if you're climbing and sometimes we stand when we climb and do stuff, I would just stay down in the saddle. And then you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
make sure that you go to instructors that don't do stupid things.
Yeah.
Because they'll do some silly, and it's just because they want their class to be fun and exciting. But I always tell people, if you wouldn't do it on your bike outside, don't do it in class. So don't do
Yeah.
push-ups and don't do tap backs and all these other kind of silly things. But if you're doing it just to get your cardio, it can be an excellent cardio conditioning.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
All right.
okay.
I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out. I've been doing the bike as a warm up
Cool.
instead of running sometimes too. So hello, welcome. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get, I have my computer next to me and I want to elevate it so that I'm not like looking down and looking up. So I'll be right back. And I'm expecting a few more people. So just going to wait a couple minutes. Welcome. Oh, shoot. Get everything you need. Oh, nice. I will show you what my computer is on. Don't judge me. It's on a box.
That works.
Right? Awesome. Let me get my share going.
It's a recycled desk.
Right? Let's see. Go ahead and if you want, you can throw in the chat or say out loud, like again, one word, how you're feeling, your energetic state, maybe your thoughts. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do it this way. That's right. Learned my lesson last time, I think. It's loading on your end. It's still loading on your end, you guys. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Little bit sad.
Let's get tired.
Tired but grateful. Yeah, I will say that I've had like anxiety all day, like, and yesterday. So just trying to work with that. And well, it was interesting because this morning in the meditation that I was doing, I didn't, he was asking, to become aware of like how you're feeling. And I was like, I'm not anxious. And all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys can feel it yourselves when anxiety is present in your body. Like I can feel the hormones release sometimes, and it released. And I was like, did I just like induce that anxiety, like in a way, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't really there at first, I don't think. And then it just hasn't really gone away. So I'm going to be working on that. Let's see. What time exactly is it? It's 7:04. I'm going to give it one more minute and get started. Yeah. It's okay to have awkward silence sometimes. I don't even know why I'm trying to drink my tea. It's too hot. I'm excited for tonight's class. So let's get started. All right. We're going to start with just a 10-minute sit. And I shouldn't say just a 10-minute sit. That can be a long time. So get comfortable. You can turn your cameras off. This is going to be a meditation where I'm just going to kind of have us put the practices together. So the first 2 weeks we did breath and body awareness, and then emotions and thought awareness. And so this will be just like a little mini meditation where we touch each one of those pieces. And then we're going to move into the rest of the class and cover what I think is like maybe it's almost like wrapping up mindfulness in beautiful wrapping paper and putting a beautiful bow on it, what we're going to talk about today, I feel like. So all right, go ahead and get comfortable wherever you are. Taking excuse me, taking a moment to just check your surroundings, notice the space that you're in first. And then when you feel ready, either gently closing your eyes or taking a soft gaze, maybe away from or past the screen. And then start to become aware of your breath, maybe by feeling the breath all the way in, feeling the breath all the way out. You can follow the breath all the way in. See if you can follow the exhale all the way out. So this, again, idea of looking for the beginning and ending of the inhale and the beginning and the ending of the exhale. And then letting that go and just allowing your breath to come in naturally without following it without trying to track it. See if you can become aware that there's a body breathing. Maybe becoming aware of where in the body you feel the breath. Maybe noticing the breath in the shoulders or in the belly, or the observation is that you aren't able to notice the breath, or um, you don't notice the breath, where it's neutral. Again, there's no expectations of what you're to find here. It's just seeing if you can become aware of this body that is breathing. And then now seeing if you can bring awareness into your feet. Maybe able to notice where the feet are connected to the earth. Maybe you're able to, or you become aware of the temperature of the feet or any sensations from the inside out. Sensations may arise in many different ways, shapes, forms, tighten, tightness, tingling, temperature, openness. And now see if you can become aware of another space in your body, this time your choice, traveling anywhere in the body where maybe you feel immediate sensations, or maybe you are able to find a spot, a place in the body where you feel ease or comfort or openness or even neutrality. Just again, sensing from the inside out. And then letting that go and seeing if you can now check in with your emotional state, your energetic body. And again, there's no expectation here of what you find. And in mindfulness, this practice of loving kindness, being gentle to ourselves, which really means leaving the stories behind when finding what you observe. And so just checking in with your energetic body, being honest and kind. And then checking in with your thought state or states, just noticing maybe either right now, any immediate thoughts that keep circling back or maybe have been circling back. And instead of noticing exactly word for word what the thought is, seeing if you can look at the state or the uh, attitude of the thought or thoughts that are there. What's my thought state? And again, withholding any judgment, And simply being in agreement with what's here. And then letting that go and taking a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, bringing a hand or both hands to your heart if that feels good. Maybe finding your own heartbeat. If your hands aren't there, just bringing your awareness to your heart space. If it's hard to locate your own heartbeat, just noticing the comfort of your own hands on your heart, or noticing the comfort of the heart space. And then take a moment to say something that you need to hear right now. Something kind, something gentle, something encouraging, something loving, something supportive. And it could be something as simple as I'm here, or I see you, or it's okay. Whatever that is that you need to hear, say it right now. And then when you're ready, just gently taking a breath back into that heart space, inhaling, and then exhaling, letting everything go. Gently coming back into this space at your own pace, maybe blinking the eyes, maybe moving the head side to side, maybe taking some shoulder rolls. I really like this one's good where the hands are on the shoulders. I like this one where you take one hand maybe behind the back, the other hand to the opposite side, and switch. Hopefully, you guys can hear me over the trains in the background. I'm very sorry. So, when you're ready, go ahead and turn your cameras back on if you want to join back visually. Since you guys have all been here, I'm gonna move forward a little. And if uh, you have anything you want to add to anything, always feel free to jump in whenever. So thank you. That was, just hopefully a little taste of um, the skills that you've been working on and been building on. And that was about 10 minutes. Hopefully it didn't feel like 10 minutes. But that's something that you can maybe even do in less than 5 for yourself, a couple times a week, where you're just going through the foundations and checking in. How's my breath? Where's my breath? What does it feel like? Um, what sensations are arising in my body. You can do a full body scan or just touch in on a few different places. And then checking in with your emotional state, your energetic body, and then checking in with your thought states, like what thoughts have been present or are present. Um, and then again, all of those are without judgment, because it's a practice of compassion. Mindfulness is a compassion practice. So just like you befriend your friends and you listen to them, you're just checking in and listening to yourself. And in the no judgment, that really means being strong and supportive of yourself, with having boundaries for yourself and not going into the stories or bringing the stories in with you when you discover how your energetic state is, or when you discover that there's an ache in your body that is informing you of something that you yet still haven't taken care of. Um, And I'm speaking for, myself. These are things that I experience when I'm checking in with myself. So welcome. Community builder. Today is all about compassion. And really the practice is about compassion. And I just mentioned befriending. And I think it's about befriending ourselves. So I think it's a great exercise for us to just reflect on like what's in a best friend. And if you don't have a best friend, like then what are the qualities that you would hold and expect, in that relationship of a best friend. So feel free to put in the chat maybe some qualities or attitudes that you think are deemed worthy of being a best friend. And there's no right or wrong here. I think it's also helpful to like hear from other people. Oh yeah, like that is a quality too that I really, hold and value close to my heart in a friendship. So we have great listener, loyal, fun to be with. I love the great listener. I've been really trying to work on, active listening, supportive. And I've been trying to work on active listening where someone who has your best interest. Yes, I love that. I'm going to come back to that one. Active listening where you're not like waiting to tell a story to like relate to them. You're just listening. That's something that I realized I needed to work on, and I've been trying to do that. So someone who has your best interest and an adventure buddy. I love that too. Best interest makes me think of Bell Hooks in the book All About Love. And to me, I interpret, she says that, there's not a universal definition of love that the human species agrees on. And that her try at it is love is when you are spiritually like nurturing somebody, you nurture their spiritual growth is my interpretation of that book. It's a great book, All About Love. Someone who helps you grow. Exactly. Someone who helps you grow. Yes. So maybe take a moment, right now to, you don't have to, you can, if you want, close your eyes, but bring to mind your best friend. Bring to mind somebody who, or again, envision somebody who might be your best friend, somebody that you might envision being a best friend, and just take a moment to bring them into your heart and thank them for embodying qualities that are helpful and not harmful, qualities that are clearly ones that you respect. And so just taking a moment to thank them. So gently come back. And Audrey says, I feel like friendships or best friendships very similar to ideal romantic partnerships without the physical intimacy part. Oh, friendships or best friendships, very similar. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's all intimate, right? And that's exactly what mindfulness meditation is. It's a very intimate practice with yourself. You're checking in with every piece of yourself in a very I like to say a very processed way. Even though you can do hundreds of different mindfulness meditations, there's still this like process that as we've defined as like not being judgmental. There's no room for judgment. There's only room for loving kindness and compassion and gentleness and encouragement. So this week I'm saying mindfulness is movement of the heart. We talk about the mind in mindfulness and wanting to do something with our mind, but it's really about, as hopefully you'll walk away with tonight, understanding that it's really about movement of our heart and watching the movement of our heart. Is our heart opening, and what is it opening to? And is our heart closing, and what is it closing to? And then we get to explore that and then let our body tell us what and why our heart opens and closes to things we desire and don't. Rightfully so. We have a right to desire. And so just a quick recap. We went over the body, feelings, and the mind, and Dhamma is the fourth foundation. It's like the path of the path. And I really think that these practices we're going to do tonight is that. It's the embodiment of compassion. Is in, as you'll see a quote that I have later in the slides, compassion is action. So it's really about being able to not just have action for ourselves in meditation, mindfulness meditation, but then applying what we've heard and learned from ourselves when we go into have relationships with others. And of course, we talked about this before last week. There's obstacles in the way of us getting to practice. So just keeping these in mind, that desire, aversion, sleepiness, restlessness, and doubt are, some pretty common themes that you might be able to apply to your thought states that may be a hindrance to you getting to your own practice. And there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just recognizing that today I'm really sleepy, or today I've been doubting myself all day, and like, let me have some compassion for 2 minutes for myself, and that's my practice. And so opposite the obstacles, or something that will help us navigate over and through or and around. They always say the only way out is through. is cultivating these attitudes that really are encouraging and supportive. So non-judgmental, curious, grateful, non-striving, trusting, and of course, humor. I put a joke in here. I found this joke. I thought it was funny. I tried to get a job teaching meditation, but I didn't have a good interview. I thought that was so cute. So, it's really, this practice really, it wants to help you have a good interview, and it's not about faking anything. It's really about uncovering our innate goodness that is already there, that we're all born with. And so this week, I just wanted real quick for us to, you can throw it in the chat or say it out loud. What have you experienced in your own mindfulness practice as a benefit? Can you think of, and even if you don't know, this is a good time to start thinking about it, because these are when we recognize things that work for us over and over again, that's going to become the rewiring. Again, I said this before, we have a negativity bias that is a very intelligent survival skill, but we want to also be able to remember, good things, so that we're not always trying to, run away from, but rather be able to open to. So in the chat, I have a laugh out. Yeah, that I'm actually doing a good job. I overlook the small steps I take towards my goals. Excellent. So, that's huge for mindfulness practice, to give you that gift of recognizing that you are actually doing a good job. That's everything. That's confidence. That's what's the other word? That is empowerment. Being able to separate the voices in my head so I can better hear my true self. Yeah. Yeah. The mind is just doing its job. And it's easy for me to say, but I myself have to, really rely on my practice to remember and recover in those moments of looping and going down the rabbit hole of those discouraging words to self. Seeing beauty outside of the chaos, finding gratitude in the small things. Beautiful. I am more aware of my negative thoughts, making steps to stop them before they repeat. Yes. Gratitude. Yes, agreed. You know, the small things, Thich Nhat Hanh, he just passed. He's a beautiful spiritual teacher who, you know, I highly recommend reading his books. I just finished one of his books, Touching Peace, literally like a couple days before he transitioned. Um, and yeah, Amanda, it's like I feel like he is the guy to go to if you want a quote, if you want to read and like really have quotes hit you hard about how it is about the little things in life and finding beauty in smelling a flower, finding beauty in um you know, stepping in a puddle. You know, it's raining today and I stepped in a puddle today and I could have gotten mad, but I had to laugh. More present in life and in an active, let me go back. Sorry, it goes away quick on my screen. More present in life and I'm an active player versus going through the motions on autopilot. Life is way more enjoyable. Love that. I love that. Mindfulness gives you the feeling of aliveness. Um, and that's a beautiful thing because we are alive. It reminds me that more than one thing can be true at the same time. Lots of things are true at the same time, probably. I'm sure you're discovering in your own practice. And even in that, when we counted our thoughts last week, where maybe some of you experienced like thoughts like on top of each other, you know, and like that right there is like that's a lot. That's more than one thing happening just right up here in our own mind. So having that compassion that even in our own mind, there's so much going on. Awesome. All right. So trauma sensitive mindfulness. Mindfulness is a great tool for self-regulation. Trauma informed approach is really all about, you know, being very in tune with how things are looking and feeling to others, just being sensitive. It's having that sensitive lens. Oops. And then just again, this concept of window of tolerance, we want to be aware of that we have a window of tolerance where that's when we're in homeostasis and feeling regulated. But we want to be aware of signs of regulation as well as dysregulation. It's great to know when we are, you know, having a panic attack, but it's also great to remember when we are actually just content, not even, you know, excited and happy, but content, like peace where you're in agreement with what life has given you. And then being able to resource. So using your mindfulness tools, your five senses to ground you back into your body. You can try and come back into awareness of your feet touching the earth. If ever you notice you're outside of your window looping in thoughts, ground back down into your feet through the earth. And then widening your window of tolerance. It's not just about getting back inside. We want to widen it. We want to build our resilience. We want to strengthen our resilience. So I talked about the candle flame practice, the object on forehead, mindful gauges, becoming aware of what cues your body gives you when you want something and don't want something in the moment. And then I'm going to talk just a little bit about titration and pendulation meditation. This is about strengthening resilience. And so on the right, well, I don't know what side it's on for you, but you'll see there's a picture of a pendulum and a picture of like a titration and a beaker, a burette and a beaker. Basically that is about dosing, like small doses. And then the pendulation is about like moving to and from moving away and from. So I have this quote from Jill Satterfield. There's this really nice article, and I can email it to you guys about titration meditation specifically. I add in pendulation because I think it gives a better perspective of what this practice is trying to do to build resilience. Basically, we did it kind of last week where I had you guys think of a time where you were full of joy, pure joy. And then what did that feel like in the body? And then you went off and I had you think of a time where you were kind of like you felt challenged or a little stressed or maybe a little anxious. And it wasn't too much though. It was on a scale, remember, of like 3 out of a 10. So that's the titration. And then the pendulation, the swinging back to, then I had you come back to, okay, now think of a time where you felt excited or really encouraged or whatever. You can also come back from being with that stressful situation back into the feet. Now notice your feet on the floor, so it's this idea of and that's really actually a really good thing to do, is coming back into the body, because that brings you back into the present moment. If you're specifically trying to work with and be with a challenging experience, when you're titrating and you're going into it, going towards it, little doses, and then come back into the body. Okay, now I feel my hand on my heart and it's alive, and I'm going to say something kind to myself. So I hope that makes sense. But this is how you can build your own resilience and widen your window of tolerance, not just for meditation practice, mindfulness practice, but for relationships, for your life. And it moves you from state to trait the more you do this. Mindfulness, when we meditate, we're moving into a state, but really we want to be ebbing and flowing from that state to trait all day long. And actually, like, the more we flow into state, the more it becomes a trait. So titrating is a somatic approach to managing stressful or painful situations, feelings, thoughts, and memories. When we titrate, we're moving both towards and away from something so that our nervous system, heart, mind, and body can process what is occurring and not become overwhelmed. All right. So to the heart of the practice, and I think we're in good time. I'm really excited. I have up here the path with heart. That is, wait, has this moved? This hasn't moved for you guys at all? Oh, it did move. Did you see this? Did you see that picture? Okay, good. Okay. I don't know what just happened. Okay, cool. Path with Heart is a really beautiful book by Jack Kornfield. I highly recommend that book. It's just a really beautiful wording on how mindfulness practice, or just these compassion practices, how it's this movement of the heart. It's us being led by our heart, essentially. And then, so I have this quote by Tara Brach about compassion, and she has a book, Radical Compassion, which is an awesome book too. Compassion can be described as letting ourselves be touched by the vulnerability and suffering that is within ourselves and all beings. The full flowering of compassion also includes action. Not only do we attune to the presence of suffering, we respond to it. So take a moment again, if you want to close your eyes right now, to think of a time where either someone showed compassion to you, or you showed compassion to someone else or yourself. And just see if you can become aware of what is arising in the body, what sensations are coming up along with this remembering of this act of compassion. What emotions are there? And then maybe, what sensations in the body? Is the heart opening, or is it closing? Or is that, are you not even able to notice in the body? But just beginning to cultivate this observation, this exploration of what does compassion even feel like to me when I'm thinking about it. So you can come back to the space. And so let's see, 7:37. I'm going to take you through these 3 practices. And we kind of did a little self-compassion practice. So I'm actually going to start with the just like me compassion practice. But I'm going to talk about the self-compassion practice first. I'm going to talk about all of them one at a time. Then we're going to practice. So I was trying to describe these practices as like, wrapping up what you've learned so far in a beautiful package and like taking this beautiful, tender loving care of the skills that you just built through these compassion practices and this meta loving kindness practice. Because number one, we are humans. We are a species that we do not survive alone. We survive in companionship. We survive in community. And so the act of sitting down to become mindful of your own self is a gift to the communities that you are living in. It's a compassionate act, and it's not easy. So because it's not easy, we're deserving of this balm, as you will, this medicine or this gift of compassion practices in mindfulness, where we get to really touch into our own heart and the hearts of others, and we really get to see the goodness in ourselves. And then that automatically, it usually really naturally allows us to see the goodness in other people, even those that we maybe never expected to ever in life. And that's not saying that that's the goal, is to forgive, right? And to like be in relationship with people who have hurt us. That's not at all what these compassion practices are about. It's really about recognizing that, wow, humans are just like me. No matter how different I think I am than other people, there's a lot that we have in common under the surface that are really matters of the heart. And these practices help us strengthen that and help us know that and trust it. And it really helps us build our own self-love, which again will only help us have more to give to others. Even when we think we don't want to give it, we end up being able to give it because we've given so much to ourselves. So self-compassion practice, you just did that earlier in your 10-minute sit at the end, when I had you put a hand on your heart and say something kind to yourself, say something that you need to hear in the moment. That's really the basics of a self-compassion practice, where you just maybe sit down, or you're standing wherever you are in the moment, in the heat of the moment, and you just take a moment to place a hand on your heart, or maybe you hug yourself, or you feel your feet on the ground and you just say some words or a mantra, or one word, or some I am affirmations that you need to hear in the moment. Tara Brach has some really sweet ones where she'll say like, "It's okay, sweetheart, I'm here." And it sounds and feels so awkward to do for me, when I do it sometimes still, like, I'm just like, I hesitate because I'm like, do I deserve it? Right. But it's a practice. And so you did that already tonight. And just I encourage you to continue doing that for yourself whenever you need to tell yourself the things that you need to hear, because other people can't read our minds. They don't know what we need to hear. We know what we need to hear if we listen, and maybe it takes a couple tries, but don't give up. Um, and really that gesture of the hand to the heart can be helpful for that self-compassion practice. Or even maybe like holding your hand. You could hold, you can make a fist and hold that. Like the fist is representing like the stress or like, or even the heart, and the hand is holding it and just sitting there with that in your lap. Um, so we're going to move into just like me, compassion practice. I'll talk about that right now. And that is, um, I'm going to have you turn your cameras on if that feels comfortable for you, and everyone will look at each other, and I'm going to say some phrases, and you'll just say them silently in your mind, and the phrases will be certain phrases where at the end, every time you say the phrase, all the phrases end with just like me. So it's a really beautiful practice to become aware that there's other human beings out there just like you. And it's not that, um, again, it's not about having compassion for people who have hurt us, but it's also like having compassion for ourselves, realizing like I'm not alone. I've had, I'm not alone in a lot of these things that I'm experiencing, whether they're pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And then we'll end with metta, loving kindness, which is one of my favorite meditations. It's like a widening practice of like who you bring in to give well wishes to, is what I call it. So you start by like extending kind phrases to yourself, and then you widen that to, you bring in someone that you have an easy relationship with and extend phrases that I say, and then you repeat in your mind to them. And then you move into like somebody who is, you have a challenging relationship with. And if you're not ready to go into that space and bring up that person and extend loving kindness to them, then you just turn it right back and you give it to yourself again. And then the last widening, well, then before that person, there's a neutral person, like a stranger at the grocery market that you remember seeing, but you don't know them. Then you do the challenging person, and then you bring it all together and you open it to all sentient beings. So it's a really beautiful practice, and it's called metta for loving kindness. So let's get started. Let's see, you got 15 minutes left. That's great. So with a just like me, if your cameras are on, awesome. Thank you so much. Go ahead and let's all start by taking a deep breath in through our nose, out however you want. See if you can allow the shoulders to come down away from ears. Notice where you're connected to whatever it is you're sitting on. And then one more intentional breath, following the breath all the way in this time, following the breath all the way out. And then when you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Begin to become aware that there are people in front of you. And just go ahead and, keep scanning. You don't have to stay on one person. Just notice everyone's different hair texture, notice everyone's different background, and maybe just remembering that everyone is in even different states here. And so I'm going to read these phrases, and as I read these phrases, you're just going to repeat them in your mind or in your heart. And yeah. So again, knowing that there is somebody across from you, somebody on screen, alive in front of you. This person has a body just like me. This person has feeling, thoughts, and emotions just like me. This person has during their life experienced physical and emotional pain and suffering just like me. This person at some point has been sad. This person has been disappointed in life. And this person has been angry. This person has been hurt by others. This person has felt unworthy or inadequate at times. This person worries just like me. And this person is frightened sometimes, just like me. And this person will die, just like me. This person has longed for friendship, just like me. And this person is learning about life, just like me. And this person wants to be caring and kind, just like me. And this person wants to be content with what life has given, just like me. This person wishes to be free from pain and suffering, just like me. This person wishes to be happy, just like me. And this person wishes to be safe, strong, and healthy, just like me. And this person wishes to be loved, just like me. And so we're going to just gently move into metta meditation now. So go ahead and gently close your eyes. You can turn your cameras off if that feels good. Thank you so much for trying something new, if that was new. And just gently coming into your own space, taking a moment to maybe check in with your energetic body. Notice what came up during that exercise, that open eyes meditation. Thanking yourself for showing up tonight, for tending to the movement in your heart. And then when you're ready, extending loving kindness to yourself through these phrases if they resonate with you. And if it feels good, you can even put a hand on your heart, or maybe visualize yourself standing in front of yourself, or maybe looking in the mirror, maybe visualizing taking your own hand in hand with yourself, looking yourself in the eyes. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I have peace. May I be loved. May I be free. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I have peace. May I be loved. May I be free. Now allowing yourself to maybe fade away or move to the side and welcome in someone into your heart space, your mind's eye, who it's easy to be in relationship with. You have a genuine connection of ease. And when they're in your heart, in your mind, looking into their eyes, taking their hands and extending metta, loving kindness. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you have peace. May you be loved. May you be free. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you have peace. May you be loved. May you be free. Thanking them and letting them go. And then gently allowing a neutral person into your heart space, into your mind's eye, someone you don't know, someone maybe you've seen in passing. And when you have that person in your mind's eye, in your heart, looking them in their eyes, maybe taking their hands in yours, extending metta. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you have peace. May you be loved. May you be free. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you have peace. May you be loved. May you be free. Thanking them, letting them go. And when you're ready, if and only if it feels comfortable, feels right, and again, turning loving kindness back towards self, if not, bringing in someone who you have maybe a little bit of a challenge in your relationship. Nothing too um, extreme in this moment, but just maybe something that maybe there's a strain that you've been acknowledging and working on. And when you have that person, whether it's someone else or yourself, in your mind's eye, in your heart space, looking them in the eye, taking their hands in yours, extending metta. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you have peace. May you be loved. May you be free. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you have peace. May you be loved. May you be free. thanking them and letting them go. And then bringing in all sentient beings. Maybe visualizing all sentient beings hand in hand. When you're ready, extending loving kindness. May we all be healthy. May we all be happy. May we all have peace. May we all be loved. May we all be free. May we all be healthy. May we all be happy. May we all have peace. May we all be loved. May we all be free. Bringing a hand or both hands back to the heart. They are not there already. Taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up tonight. Could have been anywhere, but you're here tending to the movement in your heart. And gently come back into this space. Go ahead and turn your cameras on. No rush. Hopefully that didn't cut out. I saw on my end it did, but I hope that was okay. So we are at time. Does anyone have any questions? I'm happy to stick around for 5-10 minutes because this was kind of a lot to there's deeper stuff. So any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? Anything? And no pressure. If you don't want to comment, you don't have to.
If I know you're recording this, Shay, so if we want to watch it again, how do we do that?
Ooh, I can when I get the link, I can send it to you.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, yep.
Because I need practice.
Yeah, me too. Awesome. I'll definitely do that for you. Uh, I appreciate you guys. That was my first time leading the Just Like Me thing. So I realized I had forgot to say Just Like Me on some of them. So thank you for letting me try new things with you. So if that was new for you, that was also new for me as like leading it. Good. Yeah. I like them both too. They can be powerful. I cry oftentimes with loving kindness. Yeah, this is the heart of mindfulness meditation, though. This is a practice um, for our hearts, for our own hearts, and really just remembering there's nothing to fix when we show up. We're just taking care of ourselves. We're just loving ourselves and being gentle and encouraging and unconditional love. I say unconditional love is the only conditions to unconditional love are healthy boundaries. And it's all about learning those healthy boundaries for ourselves. What are our own healthy boundaries, like becoming mindful of, you know, if binge eating is something that you do when you get anxious or sad, like being mindful of, maybe I'm not going to eat the whole ice cream carton tonight. I'm just going to give myself, a couple scoops that I deserve because this is what feels good to me. But I know that eating the whole thing doesn't feel good because when I wake up in the morning, I have repercussions. That's something I've personally experienced. So just using that as an example, mindfulness has really helped me become more mindful of the food I eat and how it makes me feel and how it perpetuates my anxiety and depression, and that I have more control over that. So that's self-regulation, that's emotional regulation, and that's a win-win. Awesome. So I'm going to let you guys go because I want to be respectful of your time. I do want to prepare you for next week. Next week, since we've learned like the foundations of mindfulness, we're going to move into our last session, which is going to be about movement, like a little bit of like, we'll do sitting meditation. I do want to do rain with you guys, so I'm going to bring that in. So that'll probably be our sitting meditation, but we're going to do walking and standing meditations, but you don't need to be anywhere but your space because I'm going to teach you how to walk back and forth mindfully. And all you need is like a space where you can walk like 10 steps forward and then turn around and 10 steps back, something like that. I mean, even 5 steps. So thank you guys. I hope you have an awesome evening. I'm here if you need anything, and I will email once the recording links get sent to me. I'll email that to you guys. Next week's our last session, you guys. So awesome. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye. Bye.